Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another season in LSA. I've seen a bunch of names in the chat so far. Welcome to all of you who have made it. Trev just joining in right now. Welcome, guys. Just let me know if you can hear my mic and if everything is sounding good. Tian, Barry, SVDK, Osman, Remco, Martin, that is Roymir. Welcome, guys. I can see a bunch of your names. Okay, seems my stuff is working. Right, guys, so that was the iconic LSA start of a new season music. If it's your first time joining us from the start of a new season, get used to that music because we play it at the start of every draw. I found it 1 year and it's been carrying us every season. So hopefully they don't take it down from YouTube. Before we start with the draw, guys, just a few admin pointers that I just want to mention before we get going. So firstly, I want to say, Martin says, why am I not driving? Right, yeah, okay, let's address the elephant in the room first. So, as some of you would have seen, my name is not on the placements list. I have decided not to race this season. I haven't been enjoying F1 that much, to be honest. The last while, it's not been too great. And yeah, I've just decided that seeing that we didn't really have a stream for Tier 1 last season, I'm gonna rather focus on streaming. So I'm gonna stream all the races. Tier 1 is gonna be on YouTube every week, the full race covered. And hopefully that can also bring some good momentum and growth to the league for future seasons, right? So that's why I'm not racing this season. I will most probably race again for season 11, but yeah, for this season, I am going to focus on streaming. Yeah, so firstly, I do want to give a massive shout out to everyone who contributed to the trophies, and I put a little list together here. So you guys can just have a quick look at those names. Thank you to every one of you who sponsored, even if it was 10 Rand or 50 Rand or 100 Rand. Every little bit made a difference, and we were able to get all the trophies. Having had 5 tiers last season, we had to print 13 trophies, which is pretty ridiculous. I didn't think we were going to get there, but yeah, we did, and it's all thanks to you guys. Obviously, the league is free. We don't have any entry fees or anything. Everyone can race, and this is just something small we do. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Then I want to start off with the calendar. So I forgot to actually open that up. So let me just quickly get that here. There we go. Let's make this full screen. Pow. There is the calendar for season 10. Okay. Bluetooth says, why do I give so much money? Uh, yeah, I do like iRacing more, guys. It's just one of those things. I'm sorry. I had to say it. Um, But yeah, it's really fun. If you haven't played iRacing, it's difficult to explain. But yeah, it's just on another level. The enjoyment is really next level. But yeah, let's get into this into the calendar. So we're starting off the season at Melbourne, then we're heading to Mexico. Mexico is the same as the real life Mexico race that weekend. Then we're going to China, then Brazil. Brazil again, same as the real life calendar that weekend. For Brazil, we are not allowed to use hards, so the weather will be set to dry, obviously, because if it's wet, then no one is using hards anyway. So the weather will be set to dry for Brazil, and you will not be allowed to use hards in the race. You'll have to use softs and mediums. If you do put for hards, you will be disqualified. Right? So don't use hards for Brazil. We will remind you again when we get there. Then round 5, Japan. Then we go to Las Vegas and Qatar. Then we've got a mystery track. So all 3 tiers will spin a wheel. And each of them will get their own mystery track. So it's not necessarily the case that all 3 tiers will be driving the same track. In fact, it's most probable that they won't be sharing the same track. So mystery track, the mystery track can be any one of the tracks that's not on the calendar. So any one of those can be a possible mystery track. And as I said, each tier will spin their own wheel to see what that is. Oh, I forgot. China is a sprint. So round 3, China, we've got a sprint. Then back to round 9, it's Imola. Then we go to Spain. Then we go to Canada, which is the second sprint of the season. Let me just see if I can see what the chat is saying. Sounds it's all good. So yeah, Canada is going to be another sprint. Then we've got Britain, round 12. Then we're going to Zandvoort in reverse. And then we're going to finish off the season again at Abu Dhabi. Classic, iconic season finale. I think I'll sort of mention it now while I'm busy here. So for the sprints, guys, we are reverting back to our old sprint format where the sprint grid is going to be determined by the reverse championship order. So the person who is at the bottom of the standings starts the sprint in P1, and the person who is leading the standings will start the sprint last, and then any reserves who are racing start right at the back. So the reserves start the sprint at the back. The rest of the people are in reverse championship order. We tried something different for last season because we had some feedback saying that the reverse championship grids tended to create some chaos with faster guys obviously starting at the back and trying to make their way through. We didn't really see a lot of chaos, but we tried something new for last season, and the racecraft was very similar. It wasn't bad, it was just the same. And so we think that, having this reverse championship order, it does give the guys a chance who don't usually qualify at the front to have a good sprint and, grab some points in the sprint, but also to then start the race, further forward than they would have normally qualified in a normal qualifying session. Right, so yeah, just to recap, sprint is going to be the sprint grid is determined by reverse championship order, and then where you finish the sprint, that gets influences where you start the race. And as always, any penalties that you do accumulate in the sprint post race, so from the stewards, do get applied to your race finishing position. So if you get a 2-place penalty in the sprint, that 2-place will be applied to your main race result. Right, so that's the calendar out the way. Then what else was there? There was something else I needed to do. Where is this thing? Here we go. Okay. Now, the next thing we need to discuss, what is this? The trophy okay, we did the trophy contributions. What is this? New rules. Okay. So I still need to post the new rulebook for season 10. I'm still busy with that, finalizing it. The first change is the following. If you retire in the pits, instead of a quali ban, that is now going to be a race ban. The reason for that is we do not want guys to retire in the pits. I'll explain the reason for that in a moment. The reason why we've upped it to a race ban is because the fast guys don't worry about a quali ban because they just start at the back and they are at the front of the field within half of the race. And the guys who are usually qualified at the back also don't worry about a quali ban because they would have qualified at the back anyway, right? So for most people, a quali ban isn't really a big punishment, and it isn't. It's not supposed to be a massive punishment, but yeah, we really want to discourage people from retiring in the pits. Now, the reasons why we do not allow retiring in the pits. So obviously, other leagues might allow it. The reason why we don't allow it in LSA, 2 main reasons. Number one, most of the races get streamed, and it looks really bad if a quarter of the grid or half of the grid retire in the pits because they had incidents or they got damage or whatever. So it just looks bad from the outside. And the other thing is, if you know that you're allowed to retire in the pits, that usually tends to make people drive more aggressively because they know if something goes wrong, they can just quit and leave. Whereas if you know you're not allowed to quit and leave, you are more likely to be a bit more cautious, a bit more calculated, especially on the opening few laps of a race. You're not just going to send it and risk getting damage or risk ending someone else's race, because you can't just back out of it, right? So remember, guys, you book out your Wednesday or your Thursday night for league racing from 8 until around 9:30. So if your race starts badly, suck it up and finish the race, right? That is why we are here. We're here to have fun, and we're here to finish the races that we commit to. Does this count for 10-second time penalties? What? I don't know what you mean. Atom of milk. Just explain what you mean. Do you mean I don't know. Retiring in the pits is a race ban. That's the rule. I don't know what is 10-second time penalties has to do with this. Right, the next rule is time penalties under safety cars and VSCs. So we are going to change the wording for this rule so that the stewards can then assess the situation to see if a safety car or a virtual safety car has negated a time penalty that was served early in the race, then that penalty can't be removed. But if it was not negated, then it can still be removed. So the wording is going to put a bit more power in the steward's hands to be able to assess the situation, and it won't just be a black and white to say, okay, it either has to be removed or not. And hopefully this will remove some of the biases and stuff, or not biases, more of the like inconsistencies from 10-second penalties. Okay, Atom of Milk says, when speeding in the pit, you get a 10-second time penalty. If you accumulate one and then right after getting the penalty, you'll still receive a quali ban. Yes. No. If you somehow accumulate one and then retire right after getting the penalty. No. If you get a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pits and you then retire, you get a race ban. So if you retire in the pits, you get a race ban, regardless of why. Yeah, so don't retire in the pits. Speeding in the pits also is very unlikely to get removed because it's a black and white penalty. Right, guys, I don't want to stand with these things too long. Just another rule we are bringing in is the conduct in the public chats, especially your tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 lounges. We are going to be very strict going forward with these chats, especially directly after races. If people are being overly negative or abusive in the chats, you are going to be spoken to. The first time you'll get a warning. The second time you will get a quali or a race ban. We still need to decide. Third time you're going to be removed from the league. Simple as that, right? So we're going to have a absolutely zero tolerance policy when it comes to the public chats after the race. After all, we are here to have a good time, and yeah, hopefully this season will go a lot better than last season in that regard. And then the last one, the new sprint format, I've mentioned that. And then the last one is appealing time penalties. Right, guys, so just something that is quite a big concern actually at this Spikes, don't try to sue people. Guys, it's a game. Please don't do that again. Okay. So obviously, guys, you know the game isn't perfect. EA have somehow mastered the art of giving ridiculous penalties for stupid reasons. So you are more than welcome to appeal penalties. If you went over track limits and you got an immediate 3-second penalty, you can appeal that. If you enter the pits and it gives you a 3-second penalty for exceeding track limits, but you didn't, you can appeal that. Please note, if you do appeal a pit entry or exit and you actually cross the pit line, you will get a 5-second penalty from the stewards, or it's a 10-second penalty. I can't remember. I'll have a look, but make sure you don't report yourself if you've crossed the pit line, because you will get a penalty for that. But yeah, if you get time penalties under safety car that wasn't your fault, something like that, you can appeal it. But the important thing, guys, is you need your race director. Okay, we cannot remove any time penalties without a race director. Why do we need the race director? Because it shows us how many warnings you got in total. It shows us where you got the warnings, for what you got the warnings. etc. Right? So if you got 5 warnings in the race and you appeal one of them, you're still going to have 3-second penalty because you still had more than 3 warnings. So we do need the race director in that sense. Okay, guys. Oh, where do you get the race director? At the end of the race, when the results come up, there's an option to say advanced, save race replay if you're on PC, and then race director. Easy as that. Okay. So get into the habit of scrolling through your race director, especially if you're streaming or recording, which is a prerequisite for the league. But yeah, make sure you capture your race director frequently. The streamer for the tier, mostly Spikes, yeah. So I know, for example, in tier 1, I will always capture the race director at the end of the streams. So the tier 1 guys, you will have that on the stream if you do need it. But it's always a good idea to just save your own one as well. And then the guys who are commentating the other tiers, yeah, please do try and get the race director on your stream just in case anyone needs it. Okay, I think that's all the admin out of the way. I clicked on a button now, which I didn't mean to click on. Apologies. Let me just quickly check. I think that's everything. Yes. Okay. So now we're going to start with the draw. Turtle says, yeah. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Barry, for reminding me. Just something small. I mentioned it in the chat the other day. So, guys, the member streams channel, as it says, is for our members. So, if you're racing in LSA, you can post your stuff in there. Post your LSA races. You can post races from other leagues if you want. But yeah, that's not a channel where we are promoting other leagues and stuff, right? So you're welcome to post if you like racing in Fusion or you're racing in SAFRL or any other league. You're welcome to post your own POV in there. But if you're not racing in LSA, that is not a channel where you can promote the other leagues that you are racing in, if that makes sense. Okay, cool. So let me quickly open up the tier 1 wheel. Okay, here we go. Tier 1. So as you guys know, the champions from the previous season get to choose their car. And that means we have the following. So Japes has chosen his car, and I will reveal the car he has chosen. It's a Mercedes. So what we'll do is we are going to remove Mercedes from the wheel, and we're going to remove Japes from the wheel. And then we're going to spin for Japes' teammate. So Japes won the Constructors last season, and his teammate in Season 10 is going to be Don Rabico. Okay, so Don Rabico, you and Japes are in the Mercedes. Then I need to say hide. Don loves Merc. Oh, great. That's awesome. Yeah, I did think he liked Merc, so that's a good fit. Then Buerta, he won the Tier 2 Constructors Championship, so he got the next choice. And he chose Red Bull. So let's go to this one. We remove Red Bull from the wheel. We remove Buerta from the wheel. And we spin to get Buerta's teammate. That is going to be Skylar Sims. Skylar Sims in the Red Bull with Buerta. Right. Next, we've got Sugar Bear. He won the Tier 4 Drivers Championship. So he was able to choose his car. Sugar Bear chose Aston Martin. Look after my beloved Aston Martin from last season. So we've got Sugar Bear in the Aston, and his teammate is going to be... Is it going to be Storming? It looks like it is going to be Storming. Okay. Thunderhead, Storming Thunderhead. Okay. Storming Thunderhead and Sugar Bear in the Aston Martin. And then we've got Rickus. Rickus won the Tier 4 Constructors Championship. So he chose Ferrari. So we've got a red car in the Ferrari. That's gone. We have got Rickus. Where is Rickus? There is Rickus. And Rickus's teammate is going to be Rickus and Remco. Storming Thundered says he likes the Aston, so he's happy. Storming Thundered, you and Sugar Bear have got big shoulders, big shoes to fill. That's actually the right thing to say. Okay, Remco and Rickus, the two R's. Remco and Rickus in the Ferrari. Now, Viren Puzzle, he won the, what was that, Tier 5 Constructors Championship. So he chose McLaren. McLaren is the most successful car in LSA history. So let's remove Viren Puzzle from the wheel. He's got a McLaren and he is going to be paired with, who's that? Scully. Okay, so Scully, you and Viren Puzzle are in the McLaren. That is always a nice car to be in. Okay, from here on, it's straightforward 1-1. We've got half of the guys left. So we've got Big T, Mango, Pantry Star, Baby Boy, and Spikes. In Group B, we have got just Nate, Winterish, Iowa, Davids, Boogeyman, and James. And the cars, we've got Alpine, Williams, Haas, Visa, and Kick Sauber. Okay, first name is going to be Spikes. Spikes is gonna go with Winterish, Iowa. And they are gonna be in the, is it Sauber? Yes. Right, then next up, we have got, is it going to be Pantry? Yes. Pantry Store. Pantry Store and Boogeyman. Dion says he wants Alpine. you, you had to go and jinx it. Oh, lol. Pantry Store and Boogeyman take the Alpine from right under his nose. Oh, that's classic. Oh, I see Uncle Murphy is in the chat with us. Murphy's Law. Right, so okay, next up we've got Baby Boy. Baby Boy and Gems. Baby Boy and Gems, they're going to be in the horse, I think. Oh. Oh. Ah, not quite. Nevisa. Cool, 2 people left. Well, 4 people technically, but yeah, 2 per group and 2 cars. So we've got Mango and Big T, the two fastest submissions. The wheel saving them for last. So let's see what it throws up this time. It's gonna be Big T first. Big T, Davids or just Nate. The teammate is gonna be, looks like it's gonna be Davids. Oh, Davids. There we go. David's. And you guys are going to be in. Is it going to be a Williams or is it going to be a Haas? Like it's going to be a Haas. Right, and as we always do, for completion, Mango, he gets fun. Oh, shit. Oh, okay, that's fine. And now it's just Nate. Oh, I love this. The wheels always throw up some good humor, you know? So just Nate, you are left, and you have got Mr. Mango as a teammate. So that is going to be quite an interesting pairing. And you guys are in the Williams. Cool. So that's tier 1 wrapped up. Let's let me see what these guys are saying. Storming says Haas domination. Who's in the Haas? Big T and Davids. That is a good team, to be fair. That is a good team. Set up for Australia, not bad. Mango says he's happy with the Williams. Scully says, sorry, pal, I hope we would be in an Alpine again. Scully, you got a McLaren. Right, so let's quickly run through the tier 1. So Don and Japes on the Mercedes. Skylar, Sims, and Buatari are in the Red Bull. Storming Thunderhead and Sugar Bear in the Aston. Remco and Rikas in the Ferrari. A lot of R's in that team. Viren Puzzle and Scully in the McLaren. Spikes and Winterish in the Kick Sauber. Pantry and Boogeyman in the Alpine. Baby Boy and James in the Visa. Big T and David's in the Haas. And then Mango and Nate in the Williams. Cool stuff, guys. I'm just going to reopen the cars here. There we go. And then we need to open the tier 2 guys. Just a quick one before the tier 1 guys log off. Remember, you are allowed to swap teams. However, all 4 drivers need to agree to the swap, and I need the screenshots. So if, for example, I don't know, let's say Pantry Star and Boogeyman don't want Alpine and they want to switch with Baby Boy and Gems, all 4 drivers need to agree to the swap, and then you can swap. And yeah, the deadline to swap is tomorrow night, midnight. Because yeah, we need to sort out the roles, we need to sort out the app. So there's a bunch of stuff we still need to do before next before next week. So yeah, you've got until tomorrow night to sort out that if you do want to swap. Okay, cool. Let's head on to tier 2 then. So same thing applies. Atom of Milk, aka the Milkman, aka loves a bit of milk. It's just milk left and right for him. So he won the tier 5 drivers championship, so he gets to choose his car. And he chose, what did he choose? Red Bull. Okay, so we're going to remove Red Bull from the wheel. We're going to remove the Milkman from the wheel. And then who's his teammate going to be? Just to say, if it is Al Cheese, then unfortunately for Al Cheese, his choice then falls away, because he also did have a choice. Oh, it is almost Al Cheese. Oh, that's close. That's gonna be Patman. Furious F1. Okay. Next up, we do have Al Cheese. So he was able to choose. So let's remove Al Cheese from the list. And he chose. He was the tier 5 constructors champion with Viren Puzzle. They were teammates. He chose the Ferrari. Okay, so let's remove that one. And then his teammate is gonna be. Looks like it might be Destroyer or Momonga. It's gonna be Momonga. Okay. Right. From here on, it's gonna go straight to the drop-off. If you guys have watched Shark Time Gatful, you'll get that reference. Next up, we've got Sticky Nicky. Sticky Nicky is going to be paired with Key Cracker. If his name was Nutcracker and Sticky Nicky, that would have been a interesting pairing. But luckily, it's only Key Cracker. Here we go. They are going to be in the horse. Sticky, weren't you? No, you were Red Bull. Okay. So none of them were in the horse last season. So it's a new team for both of them. Sticky and Key Cracker in a horse. Batman the Crash Man. That's good. Next up, we've got Clark, aka Superman Carlisle. I'm assuming that's where that comes from. Clark, he is paired with, is it going to be boneless? I think it is going to be boneless. Clark and boneless have been in the league forever. So that's a bit of an OG pairing between the two of them. I actually need to see what the combined amount of appearances is in LSA between the two of them. If someone wants to have a look in the app and tell me how many appearances does Clark and Boneless have together, that'll be quite an interesting stat. And they are going to be in the Williams. Boneless. Boneless with the traditions. Wasn't Clark also in a Williams? Clark, you've also been in a Williams. I'm pretty sure about that. So yeah, Clark and Boneless both returned to Williams. I think Clark might have been in a Haas last season or 2 seasons ago, but he was Williams as well. I should be sponsored by Williams at this point. Yeah, true. Rafa Plays, there's an app. Yes, there is. Have a look in our Discord server. There's a channel that is named Standings App, and all the info is in there. So that's where all the results and standings get posted. Okay, continuing with the draw, we have got Blue Turtle. Blue Turtle is going to be paired with, who is it going to be? It looks like it's going to be Brandon Daxels. There goes my joke. Brandon is off the list. I can't make my joke again. Damn it. And they're going to be in the Visa. No Alpine for Blue Turtle. Unless he swaps with whoever ends up getting the Alpine. But we'll see how that goes. Okay, halfway through tier 2. Let's carry on. Sticky Nicky. Already trying to get rid of his horse. Oh, that didn't take long. Okay, next we've got Trevpa. Trevpa and Sci-Fi Mega Hype. Sci-Fi Mega Hype. You and Trevpa are teammates. And you're going to be in there. Is it Aston? Yeah. Trev, look after my Aston for me. I'm going to say it to everyone who gets an Aston. After my long-standing relationship with McLaren, I finally went to some other team, went to Aston, and it worked out beautifully. So, yeah, when I do return to the grid, I might choose Aston again or go for something different. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. Okay, 4 names left in each group. Bonus says you've got to stick to the tradition and keep the Williams. Yeah. Okay, now we've got the other DRS. We've got Rota. Rotor. You are going to be with one of these 4 gentlemen. That looks like it's going to be Chums. So Rotor and Chums. You guys are going to be in the, looks like it's going to be Kick Sauber for the season. I think one of you, I think either Rota or Batman was in the Kick Sauber last season, if I'm not mistaken, in Tier 5. Can't remember exactly, but I think so. Next up, we have got Snotkop. Yeah, Chums was in tier 3. He had the Kick Sauber, right? So he stays. And Warrior. So Snotkop and Warrior. You guys are gonna be in. Warrior, you've raced in McLaren and Mercedes, right? So Alpine would be a new one for you. It's not. It's gonna be Mercedes again. Okay, looks like you are happy with Merc. Good stuff. Okay, next we've got Osman or Destroyer. Gonna be Osman. Either Revolution or Top Gun. We shall see. Looks like it's gonna be Revolution. What did I do? Mr. X. There we go. Revolution, and you guys are possibly going to be in a McLaren. I've just got a feeling. Yeah, it's McLaren. Osman, you were in the McLaren last season, wasn't it? I think Osman, you're in the McLaren again. So that's interesting. And then Destroyer. Destroyer and Top Gun. You guys get the Alpine. Okay. Then the last one. We've got tier 3 coming up. So no champions from last season in tier 3. And obviously, the fact that there's only, wow, Boneless says 120 races between him and Clark. That's crazy. That's a lot. That's really a lot. So yeah, GG to you two. And thanks for sticking around for so long. It really means a lot to have you guys still part of the league. Yeah, so obviously only 16 guys in tier 3 to start the season. So 4 of these drivers will start the season without a teammate. But yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully we can fill up the tier in the next couple of weeks. Right, so first one on the list gonna be Raki. Okay, so Raki will have a teammate. That is gonna be Om. There we go. Om, I did see your name in the chat just a moment ago, so welcome to you as well. All the way from Mauritius, you and Osman. Good to have you guys here. And then you two are going to be in the Williams. Turtle is already messaging Destroyer and Top Gun. Oh, he's after that Alpine seat. Yo, the guy doesn't rest. Then we've got Roymir, Martin. You're gonna have a teammate. We'll see who that is. It's gonna be Solid, a Solid. Okay, and you guys are gonna be maybe in the Aston again? Nope, not this time. It's gonna be a Visa. Yes, just about picked over to Visa. Okay. Next up, next driver with the teammate. It's gonna be. Looks like it might be Hitesh. Is it gonna go? Oh, that's close. It is gonna be Hitesh. Okay, Hitesh. You get a teammate in the form of Guzu. There we go. And you guys are going to be in a Kicksauber. So Guzu going from a Ferrari to a Kick, so he's downgraded his Ferrari engine. And Hitesh goes from, was he Williams or Haas? It was Williams or Haas last season. Right, next up. We do have, it's going to be Z Star. Okay, Z Star 28, new driver in the league. Welcome to you. Good to have you on board. Actually, you and a bunch of your friends, eh? So PG Oscar, Mayday ZA, and this other name that I'm terrified to try and pronounce. Is it Nyaft? I've got no idea. What is this name? If you're in the chat, please let me know how to pronounce this. I'm absolutely terrified of that. But yeah. So we've got a Z Star. Yep, that's it. Okay, cool. So I was actually I got it. Right, so Rafa plays. There we go. Nyaft. Okay, I think I nailed it. Right. Doesn't happen too often that I get it on the first try. Right, so we've got Z Star and Rafa plays in the, looks like it's gonna be Ferrari. Okay. Next up. Here we go. Speak of the devil. Nyaft. Now I feel I can say it. Right, so Nyaft. Where is your? There we go. Okay. You also get a teammate. You get the second last teammate. Either Doctor Who or TVDK. It's gonna be Doctor Who. Uncle Doctor. Uncle Doctor Who. I think he's the oldest driver in our league. Also sitting in the USA at the moment. And that's going to be Alpine for them. Right, now the question is, can TVDK and SVDK be teammates? I think for the first time in LSA. They've been in LSA for... Guys, SVDK, TVDK, let me know. I think this is going to be like your, what, 5th season maybe? You guys have been here quite a while. I don't think you've ever been teammates. So, yeah, let's see. Maybe this season is the one. Nope. The wheel has got other plans. Do not try and play games with the wheel. We've got PG Oscar. I think it's our 4th season. Yeah, it's I was gonna say it's about 4 or so. Okay, so we've got PG Oscar. You are gonna have TPDK as a teammate. And you guys, I protest the wheel. The wheel has a mind of its own. You guys are in the Red Bull. Okay. So the next guys, the next 4, you guys won't have teammates to start the season. But we will spin to see which cars you get. We're going to start off with Mayday ZA. Can we not swap drivers instead of teams? No. No, you cannot. Mayday in a McLaren. Okay. So McLaren, as I said earlier, that's the most successful team in LSA history. They've won the most constructors titles in LSA across all the tiers. And Aston Martin, I think, is second. And with last season, Aston Martin won 3 of the 5 tiers. So that actually might be pretty close to McLaren at this stage. So yeah, whoever gets Aston, that's also a pretty good omen for you. What happens if the guys I message to swap teams doesn't answer? Then you don't swap teams, unfortunately. Okay, next we've got Quick Fall. Quick Fall in the Mercedes. Okay. And then the last 2, we've got SVDK and Kunrad. Kunrad, also a new driver. Welcome to you. I think it's going to be SVDK. And SVDK is going to be in the Haas. Lekker man, lekker. Oh. So Kunrad, we'll spin your name just so that you feel included. Kunrad. 5830. You are going to get the Aston Martin. And as I said, one of the most successful cars. I think it's the 2nd most successful car in LSA. So, yeah, have a good one in that green machine. Right, that's all the names, guys. So, yeah, that's the draw. So just a reminder to everyone, you are allowed to swap teams. You are not allowed to swap teammates. If you do want to swap teams, all 4 drivers involved in the swap must agree to it, and I need to see screenshots as proof. We do not trust people in this league. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, send me screenshots and then we can get that switch done by tomorrow night, midnight, please. Because then we would like to finalize the teams and everything. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. It was fun having you guys in the chat, and it's always a real momentum builder and something to just enjoy. So yeah, thanks for tuning into the stream, and we'll see each other on track. Have a good night and have a good week, guys. Yes. I'll keep this on for like a minute if you guys wanna say bye in the chat. But I'm gonna say bye. Bye.